Technology. I extend a warm welcome to each of you to this online faculty development program on cyber physical systems. In today's connected world, cyber physical systems bring together the digital and physical worlds. This virtual FDP helps educators explore their powerful blend, supporting innovations in smart systems, real time technologies, and modern IT solutions. Today, on the fourth day of our FDP, we will look into an exciting and insightful session on security, privacy, and safety in cyber physical systems, a critical area at the intersection of technology and trust. To formally inaugurate this event, I now invite Dr. N.Kanya, Head of the Department of Information Technology, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Vishwapriya. Respected dignitaries, esteemed faculty members and participants. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all to the fourth day of our virtual faculty development program on cyber physical system organized by Department of Information Technology and Center of Excellence in Cyber Physical Systems of Dr.N.Kanya Educational Research Institute. First and foremost, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Chancellor, Dr. A.C. Shanmugam sir, and President, Engineer A.C. Kumar sir, for their support and guidance. We are honored to have Dr. N. Ethiraj, Dean Engineering Technology with us. Welcome you, sir. Sir will really discuss knowledge and experience which surely provide us with a valuable insight. Welcome you, sir. And I'm happy to welcome all the participants who have joined virtually with us today to this FDP. Today we are having our speaker, Dr. SaiRamesh. He serves as a professor in the School of Computer Science and Engineering, St. Joseph Institute of Technology. Welcome you, sir. I'd like to extend my sincere thanks to the coordinators of this program and also the team IT for organizing this event in a great way. Once again, welcome you all to this fourth day of DP. Stay tuned to learning. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your gracious and inspiring words. We are deeply honored to have our respected Dean Engineering and Technology, Professor N. Ethiraj, join us today. I now request Sir to kindly deliver the felicitation address.
Good morning, all of you present here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I wish to congratulate the team of Information Technology Department for choosing the apt theme, cyber physical systems, which is the most important thing nowadays for the transforming digital world. See, the advancement of technologies as well as the introduction of Industry 4.0 calls for interaction between the human and the cyber systems. So this helps the modern world to grow further towards the achievements of humanities. Actually speaking, I wish to thank Dr. SaiRamesh, Professor, Computer Science and Engineering Department from St. Joseph Institute of Technology for accepting our invitation and to be a part of the FD. And see, as we know, the world is completely transformed towards the digital world where a lot of data are handled. The data handling of data is not a new thing. It was there before, but the amount of data what is now existing is voluminous, and the data was not exposed to the outside world too much in the previous decades, but now it is flowing across different parts of the globe. And so many people are accessing it. So handling the data becomes a challenge nowadays. When we talk about cyber physical system, it is actually, I don't want to go deep into it, but it is connecting the physical systems with the digital world. And it is used in almost all the domains like manufacturing, transportation, power domains, as well as the healthcare. And cyber physical system is very, very important when we are handling the data as well as communication system. Then we have to think of a lot of threats. When there is a positive thing, there is always a negative also. So in handling the data and communicating it to different parts, the threat is what the theme going to say: security, privacy, and safety. So as far as the data handling is concerned, we know that we are day-to-day life, we are facing a lot of problems, especially one is our private information is going to different people without our knowledge, without our consent, and it is giving a lot of trouble for us. Second thing is cyber crimes. It is one of the major threats in the world, and where a lot of challenges are put forward. We have to fight with that, and a lot of people lost their life because of the cyber crimes. And this is alarming situation, but only thing is the engineers as well as the faculty members has to update with the present day technology and improvise on that to see that the security, privacy, and safety is maintained. Because as far as the security is concerned, it is, you can say that it is uh, intentionally done. Whereas the safety, unintentionally, it may be because of natural calamity or it may be because of some other reason. But these things, the safety, as far as possible, even though it is a natural one, we have to protect the data from data as well as as well as the human individuals' rights to a greater extent. But this intentional harm, that is security, we have to take care of it very carefully, and we have to protect the individuals from these harms. So the cyber physical system is going to help you a lot in handling the data as well as the communication, and also to control the interaction between the physical as well as the digital worlds. I hope that this particular session will help you to help the faculty members to update their knowledge in the cyber physical system. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your motivating and visionary address. Your leadership continues to inspire us all. Before we proceed, I would like to share a few guidelines for the participants. A feedback link will be shared here on Zoom towards the end of the session. It will remain open only for 20 minutes. Please stay connected until the end to complete your feedback, as it will not be shared via WhatsApp or email. Certificates will be awarded only to active participants based on Zoom attendance and feedback submission. Please post your queries in the chat box during the session. We will address them during Q&A. Now it's time to highlight today's program. We are privileged to have with us Dr. L. SaiRamesh, Professor in the Department of CSE at St. Joseph Institute of Technology. To introduce our distinguished speaker, I invite Mrs. Sharmila, Assistant Professor, Department of IT.
Dr. SaiRamesh L. is a dedicated academician and researcher with 17 years of experience in teaching, research, and academic administration in the field of computer science and engineering. He is currently serving as a professor in the Department of CSE at St. Joseph Institute of Technology, Chennai. He holds a PhD from Anna University and has previously served in prestigious institutions such as Anna University and Jaya Engineering College. Dr. Ramesh has made significant contributions to the field through his research with 21 indexed publications, 75 Scopus indexed papers, and H indexed 12 papers with 569 citations. He has also served as editor for Scopus indexed books in the domain of parallel computing and has successfully led major funded projects, including a UA-India collaborative initiative supported by the British Council. With a strong commitment to interdisciplinary research, academic excellence, and innovation in teaching methodologies, Dr. Ramesh continues to play a vital role in advancing computer science education and research. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful introduction. It is now time to hear from an expert in the domain. I'm pleased to invite our keynote speaker, Dr. L. SaiRamesh, to deliver the keynote address on security, privacy, and safety in CPS.
Thank you, ma'am. So thank you for welcoming and thank you for giving the opportunity. So we start our session. So that using that the topic given for me as a security, privacy, and safety in CPS. Okay. Okay. For last three, everyone just know what is CPS, cyber physical system. So what is the cyber physical systems? Everyone know. So what what is the basic uh, definitions for cyber physical systems? So it is some of the components which may be integrated and that should be connected, and we can also carry out some computational. Okay, so there will be some computational is also there. So we are going to get some information and do some analysis, and based on the information, your physical system are going to behave. So automatically it just consider, so it involves a combination of your computational algorithms and physical components. So majorly where we are going to use this cyber physical system, or which we call as, actually there is a physical system. Okay, so when it will be considered as a cyber physical system? So normally there is a automobile, there is a monitoring system, there is a irrigation system. So when it enters into a cyber physical, actually instead of say cyber physical, we can so whichever we can just make it as autonomous, or whichever we can make it as a smart. So that will be considered as a cyber here. Okay, so the cyber is the terminology we are just give it as for something which is autonomous. So we will consider like this, because while you take all the examples of a cyber physical system, so we will definitely will come to know. So all the autonomous things which will be considered as a cyber. So that will be cyber system, and these are all the some of the things, some interconnected components in your CPS. That means your sensors, your controllers, and your networks, and other physical components. So the physical and cyber components interact in a feedback loop where the physical processes affect the computations and vice versa. So what is the feedback? So based on the previous output or based on the previous behavior. So we all know. So the loop will provide the feedback will provide what is previously happened. So that will be considered as a feedback for us. So why we need the feedback? And then we have to consider as an input for our system, and we try to refine our system, or we try to make it as a more efficient than the previous. So a simple thing is we as something we will talk about in parallelly what are the research things which is in this cyber physical system security. Okay, and these are all the components, cyber components. So here the cyber components are sensors, architecture, computation units, and networks. That means where the data was actually going to be taken or retrieved. So, as Ethiraj has told them, so everything has data. So we need a data to analyze. So where we are going to get that particular data? So that particular components which provide a data which will be considered as an components. And physical components are mission, human elements are users, administrators, are decision makers. So these are the humans. Okay. Before going to entering into security in cyber physical system, we can just consider. So what is, everyone know what is security? What is physical security? What is cyber security? What are the data security, information security? And there will be many securities there. Network, cyber, network, cyber information, data security. Okay. So for what purpose all this security? So what is the use of this all security here? Because we have many security things are there. But what are the actual security we need? So everything, as you just go into the deep, everywhere we just try to secure the data. Even the physical security or cyber security or information security or data security, or if you are using any cryptography, everything, whatever may be. So as that told, everything is here for protecting a data. So I want to maintain a confidentiality on the data what I have. I want to maintain the authorization to access the data. So I want to maintain a proper security whenever I'm going to transmit the data over the network. So everything, so all different securities. So we are just given different terminologies. So, but all these terminologies will just point a single term, a data. So we want to protect whether we are physically or cyberly or network or everything. So the single point is your data. Okay. So let's come to the importance of security in CPS. So CPS applications are critical in sectors such as healthcare, defense, energy. So these are the spaces where we're really using a CPS. So autonomous vehicles. Nowadays, we know the smart car is there. So the car will be. So I just normally like the films, but because moreover the technologies are shown in the mainly in the films. Because in real time we don't these kinds of technologies are available or not. But in the films they shown that in advance. Okay. So likewise, there will be many films you just seen how the data will be theft. So what is the important? So why we didn't have to use public Wi-Fi or publicly we don't need to share anything. Okay, because everywhere we are just trying to share some information. That information will carry out our some our own private information. Okay, so what is the importance here? Importance of security here while defending or while you want to protecting our data. So compromising security can lead to casual consequences, including physical harm, operational disruptions, and economic loss. Okay, so there is a question arise always. So where we have our topic is cyber physical system. How the physical damage will occur, sir? So I'm going to attack cyber. I'm going to involve some cyber attack. How this will affect? So how this will affect this particular cyber? So just I have a video. I don't know whether we can get it or not. So here's I think the screen will be shared. Am I right? Or hear the voice?
The video voice is not audible, sir.
Video was not audible. Okay, maybe the YouTube connectivity. Okay, so it's I just explained what is even in there. So it's about our IIT director. IIT director, he just given the importance of the cyber physical system. So he say the data science was important, but apart from data science, what is going to be needed? So even though data is important, but we have to protect our data is very important, because nowadays we can able to manage the data, but how we can going to protect it safely? So that is the question will come in that particular point. So he just mentioned, so how long say the data science is most important? So it is more important than that is secure that particular data. Okay. So the CPS is a tradition. It is not unlike traditional. The CPS are real time and safety critical. So they interact continuously with the physical world, require high reliability, and are more sensitive to delays and faults. So these are the places where we have to take some research perspective. So how we have to avoid the delay? Because when you talk about the real time, so we are going to take a decision quickly. So if you want to take a decision quickly means, so your system, that means your algorithm has to work properly. So without any delays, it has to take the data and you have to do some analysis, and we have to take a decision whether we have to allow the person or not. Because whenever your system, you are just using the enter the pin in your ATM or your ATM card. So what it does, whether your PIN number is saved in the particular ATM card, no. ATM machine, no. So it will just reach out the bank server and fetch the information and give you the instruction whether we are allowed to enter or not allowed to enter. Okay, this is how the normally our system will work. So if you are just implementing the security in that, so already the ATM system is there, but I am going to implement some security. So the PIN number is in security. So for everything, it has to transfer to a network. So I have to maintain some security in the ATM machine, some physical security by using some camera and using some PIN number, the physical security. And so from the branch, it has to authenticate. So he is the authenticated user. So data will be transferred to some network. So I have to provide some network security also. Okay. So threat landscape in CPCS. So threats in CPCS come from various sources, including external, insider, and environment. Okay, so it's a normal thing. Actually, the one thing I want to make it clear: don't think that cyber physical system attacks are differ from other attacks. So somewhat there are common attacks. So whenever we say the external attackers, insiders, and environment disruption, so who are the persons who study the security? They are very well known that the 80% threats, 80% threats, whether it's network security information, whatever may be, 80% attackers are the insiders. So they are the ex-employees, because as per the definitions, as per the theory, what already they mentioned, the employee will know what are the actual security measures available in the organization. Okay, so they clearly know where are all the, because if a thief come into their house, so they didn't know where is your camera, but even that your servant will know where is the camera, when the camera will be on, where is the power switch for the camera, where is the power switch in the house. So very easily, if you switch off everything, if they try to theft anything, you just switch off everything and they can easily. So automatically, what happened? So you can't identify the theft because the theft will know what are the security measures here and we know how we have to escape from the security measures. Okay, so normally we have to concentrate more on internal attackers. So how we have to avoid or overcome the attacks happened by the or carried out by the internal attackers. So external attackers normally they have to come through the internet only. Okay, so external attackers cannot easily attack you. In somewhere your system will sacrifice. So we can say the vulnerabilities. So I think you know the difference between the vulnerabilities and attackers. The vulnerabilities are not the attackers, but they will reduce the actual reduce the strength of your security system. Or some of the system will have the low level security measures, or they are following, or they are not following the proper measures. Somewhere we can say you have to maintain the password like this, but in some system they are not maintaining the password strength or the prescribed security measures. So whenever the attackers will just check, so which is the vulnerable system, that means where we can easily enter. Because if once they enter, then only they can able to attack the entire organization. So definitely the attackers need one vulnerable system where the security measures are not followed properly. Okay, so automatically, so again, the internal users only going to provide a space for the external attackers to enter into the organization. Okay, so automatically, even though they are, we can say the attackers are external attackers, insider, and environmental disruptions. So the major part of the attack or major attacks will be carried out by the insiders. Okay, what are the motivations of the attacks? What are the basic motivations of the attacks? So they give the financial gain, political motives, and sabotage. I think you know about the ransomware attacks. So what the ransomware? So normally the attackers will say, "I'm hacking the system. I'm hacking a particular system. So you cannot get any information. So if you want to get or so ransomware is also some attacks done by the hacker. So what do you do? They just enter into your system with some credentials, or they will make some already say through the vulnerable system. They just enter and they just taken over the charge of your website and they just taken the data of some privacy information from your database and they just demand you. So we are just get your data. So if we don't have to leak it, so you have to pay some amount. So that is the way how the ransomware attacks were normally carried out. For what purpose? Okay, so common motivations for attacks. So we all see the news. So the AIDS or the, some some bank also there will be that. I just have the video. I just show it. Okay. So the common motivation for attacks include these things: financial gain and political motives and sabotage. Okay. So common CPS vulnerabilities. CPS often suffer from vulnerabilities such as insecure communication protocol, outdated firmware, physical device access, and a lack of proper encryption authentication. So what we discussed the previous slide. So CPS often suffer from vulnerabilities such as insecure communication protocols. So that we have to maintain. So we have to maintain. So normally in your mobile phone, in your mobile phone, automatically it asks for the update. So the update is available. So you have to update the software. The software update was available for your mobile phone. So what is meant by that? So there is some, because the company will know there is some new attack is there. So they create some patches. The patches were there. They just create some patches and they try and they just ask the customers to update the software. So by updating the software, so automatically the patches, the added patches will be included in the available softwares and they will enhance the security in your mobile phone. So if you are not doing that properly, or if you are not make a proper encryption, so they say the lack of what I say. So instead of 10, that will say there will be 10 minimum 10 characters. Means if I be given only 4 characters, so what happens? So automatically I'm not providing the proper encryption. So because the system will say, so you can maintain the 4 to 10. Normally the Gmail, if you fix a password in your Gmail, so what it says, weak, strong, excellent. But as per the norms, you fix a password. So minimum 8 characters. So I just give minimum 8 characters. So what the 8 characters will be? Simply alphanumeric. I just using the alphanumeric without uppercase. If you are using the uppercase as alphanumeric, then automatically it will say it is good. And if you are using some special character, then automatically what happens? It gives it's a strong. So if you are just using the combining with the uppercase, alphanumeric, and in between some more than 2 special characters, then it says excellent. Okay, so that is the proper encryption. And also authentication. So you have to provide the authentication who has to access this or enter into the particular website or enter into the particular web page. So you have to make or maintain a proper authentication. So if you are not maintaining the proper authentication, automatically the system become vulnerable. So if a system become vulnerable in an organization, then automatically the attackers will just scanning which system is vulnerable. So I just enter the system and I just enter or just crash down all the other systems in the network. Because once it enters the system, it easily can accessible to the other systems in the network. Automatically, what happened? So the systems are simply uh, given the accessibility or the authentication level will be reduced there because they can easily inject a ransomware. Okay, ransomware or the virus or the worms. So this is why we have to just concentrate on these things, that your lack of encryption and authentication and insecure communication protocol. So what is the communication protocol? Normally we know the SSL/TLS, secure socket layer and transport layer security. So these are some of the simplest or the protocols or the layer which communication layer which is used currently by any payment transaction. Okay, so that is also normally if you're in WhatsApp also you see. So if you're sending a message to initially you start a conversation with anyone people's, so that will show. So there's a end-to-end encryption available. End-to-end encryption means so that any attackers will try to access this particular data whenever it passes through the network. The attackers cannot view the actual data. The attackers cannot view the actual data. Okay, so that is the end-to-end encryption. So these are all things we are daily using. Okay, so using your PIN number for your GPay and using your password for your login and use your using your WhatsApp and opening your mobile phone with your fingerprint. Okay, so daily we are just using a lot of security. Okay, lot of security procedures, but we don't know these are all the security procedures, but these are all things which really make your environment as safe. Okay, so which we know where the attackers can exploit the various parts of CPS, which includes sensors, actuators, and communication protocol, communication channels, and control units. Okay, so here we are just saying what is spoofing. Actually, as many as everyone, just these are the common attacks only. So that only say, so there is no specific attacks, but the way of attacking or where they are attacking is different. So attacks are safe. Spoofing, malfunction, eavesdropping, malware injection are safe. So in a common network security also, we are just go through these attacks. But how we carried out? Okay. So spoofing is simply a cyber security where attackers just given that some identity and they just gain some unauthorized access to manipulate the target system or a user. Okay, I just use some trusted thing. So I'm showing I am the authenticated person. Okay, so normally I am the authenticated person, but once I enter into a system, I just try to behave something anomaly. Okay, so my behavior will be changed. So actually, when I'm entering, I'm told and I am the legitimate user. But once I enter into the system, I change myself as a unauthorized or anonymous or abnormal user, which carried out unwanted things inside the system. Okay, then what is malfunction? So what is malfunction attack? Any idea about what is malfunction attack? So which we say it's a malfunction. Somewhere the behavior is not properly executed. So what is it? Once I entered as a legitimate user, but once I enter, my behavior will be changed. Okay, but in accumulators, so the malfunction automatically it changes the actual behavior. So accumulators behavior is something. So it has to behave like this. So we just put a key and you have to start and you have to give the accelerator. So the vehicle has to move front with the scooter. But once you put a key and you just given the accelerator, if the vehicle moves backward means then automatically there is some malfunction. So there is some changes in the system. So physical movement of the system will be changed. So malfunction will be attacked. So நான் attack ஒன்றும் இல்லை. So motor chain வந்து just the way of rotating the chain will be changed. The way of rotating instead of just rotating the clockwise, I just change the rotating of the chain as backward. Okay, now it's a simple thing. Even though it's not a big deal to make it as a malfunction. Okay, so instead of rotating it clockwise, I just make it's an anti-clockwise. So simply it's making anti-clockwise. What happened? So when I give him the accelerator, so automatically the vehicle will move backward. What Kanimori? Any doubt? Actually, if you have any, you just ask her. Actually, just say what are some common functions. So these are the places. Actually, overall, these things will come under the security. Okay, the spoofing, malfunction, and malware injection. So malware injection is also something which is related to the malfunction. But I just inject some unwanted things. So malware injections where the attackers can insert some malicious code in the legitimate software. So automatically that also changes the actual behavior of your system. So all these attacks, so while you talk about the physical systems, so the behavior, so due to these attacks, the behavior of the physical system will change. Okay. So the example, what I say, it's some mechanical example. Okay. So as I take your software, so if you just given a PIN number, you just transfer the some amount to transfer account, one account to another account. So if attackers will just make the pick some or insert some attack in the ATM machine, that whatever the account number you entered, but entered, so that will be automatically changed to the attacker's account number that you may not be know. So automatically the amount will be created to the attacker's account. So it will simple thing. Okay, so as a malware injection thing, you just modify the query. So whenever there is a transfer to attack number, so automatically, so the attack once you enter, the next line you just write the query where it is that will be created to. So when I'm asking the account number, that will ask. But the updations where that amount will be updated, that will be automatically saved into my account. Okay. So what is it? All these attacks make some behavioral changes in the physical system. Okay. So types of CPS attacks: sensor spoofing attacks, replay attacks, man-in-the-middle. So you all say all these attacks I know, sir. So man-in-the-middle attack, I know. DOS attacks, I know. Sensor spoofing attack, I know. Then what is here? So what is going to be happen here? The question is here. So what is going to be done here? So what is the difference, actual difference? So for network man-in-the-middle attack now, so they just intercepting the communication. So again, all these the denying service availability by overwhelming system and reusing the valid data to spoof system behavior and injecting the false data into the sensor. So as you all know about the security, these attacks are also the same because these are all the network connected and these are some of the network attacks, sensor spoofing, replay attacks, and man-in-the-middle attacks. Okay. So first we just see some information about sensor spoofing attacks. So sensor spoofing attacks simply manipulating the sensor inputs and injecting the false data. So automatically what happened? So the false data means some unauthorized access. So automatically it will manipulate a system's perception of the environment and make it behave in an unwanted manner. Okay. So what actually sensor என்ன பண்ணும் இது அதேதான் இப்ப நான் கொடுத்த சாவி கொடுத்த மாதிரி தான் ஓகே ஐ ஜஸ்ட் புட் அ கீ அண்ட் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் வாண்ட் டு மூவ் ஃபார்வர்ட் அண்ட் பேக் ஃபார்வர்ட் ஸோ த சேமஸ் வே ஐ ஜஸ்ட் இன்செர்ட் த பின் நம்பர் ஸோ பின் நம்பர் இன்செர்ட் பண்ண உடனே வந்து வாட் ஹேப்பன் ஸோ ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி நடுவில் எதுவுமே கேட்காது ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி த அமௌண்ட் வில் பி கிரியேட்டட் டு சம் அதர் அக்கௌண்ட் இப்போ நீங்களாம் இப்போ ஆல்ரெடி யூ நோ இஃப் யூ ஜஸ்ட் கிளிக் ஆன் த லிங்க் you just click on the link which is come to your mobile phone as a message. The link click on automatically the amount to be debited. How it happens? Because already he carried out all the things what he have done. So once you click that particular link, so it will get all the information. He just asks only your PIN number. He just asks only your PIN number. Okay, so the PIN number is enough for them. So for that only, and the messages, awareness messages will be given in your mobile whenever you make a call. So don't share your PIN number because whatever may be the attacks. So without the PIN number, they can't do anything. But still, some of the peoples don't know because the aged peoples are there. They don't know what is going on. So simply, I'm calling from bank. There is some problems with your account. So there is a pension amount will not be credited if you are not doing this. So they want a pension amount. So what do you do? So what they can't go to bank now. There may be some native the bank branch because they ask you have to come to the branch, the home branch. They can't do that. So what I have to do? So you simply say your PIN number. Definitely everyone given that. You can't say the awareness is not created. It's not about the awareness. So for this particular time, I need to complete this work. So how can I complete that? So that is a question mark. So how can I complete that? I don't have any other option. So automatically, I'm going to share my PIN number. Okay, so that is the way because the attackers very well know who are my targets. Okay, so the attackers' intelligence is to fixing the targets because the attacks are safe. So attackers won't change. These attacks won't change. But the thing is, I just fix my target. So he's a target. That means I just check which system is vulnerable to me. Is which system is easily, what is it? Sacrifice the security. Okay. So attackers' viewpoint is they just take overall view and analyze and come to the point which system will sacrifice. So I didn't get this actual word sacrifice, so now I got that word. Okay, so which one is sacrifice the security measures? Which one is easily sacrifice? So that will happen. Okay, so while the physical system is there, so physical system, how the physical system will say. So I just have 10 system. Physical system has most that is encryption standard. So who are not follow proper security procedures. So the security procedure, we have to follow that. Some system not follow, then automatically they will get. Okay. So what is the replay attack? So reusing valid data to skew system. So some of uh, the film I already just inform you. The films have shown that how the replay attacks, the best replay attacks. There is one Vikram Prabhu's films, the Sigaram Todu. So where the attackers keep the scanner, the PIN scanner, ATM scanner. They just make it available in the ATM. So whenever the people insert the ATM code, it just scan the PIN number, and they can easily get what is the actual card number. So உங்களோட card number இருக்கும், but actual card number because in the team also they just showed there will be some one employee will help to the attacker, the one bank employee, because he know everything. He know the actually he is admin, so he know the actual thing what is going on. So he can given the information what he needs. So they automatically what they do, they prepare a duplicate card. They simply prepare the duplicate card, ATM card, and with that duplicate ATM card, because they know the PIN number. So with the PIN number, they will take the cash. Okay, so the clip will just show you that's the replay attack. So reusing the valid data. So whatever he has just given input is a valid input only. Okay, to spoof the system behavior. Okay, and the man in the middle attack. So someone in the middle will just get the data, whatever the data which has to be given to you, but they may think the data will be sent to the destination from source to destination. So you are destination, I am the source, I will send the data, but someone in the middle will get the information, and you just think you only get the receive the information, but you just think so there is some problem with me, so you just wait for me. என்ன பண்ணும் ஒரு 5 minutes ஒரு data will send பண்ணா you just wait for 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes why the data will still not reach me. So then only you said, I said already. So what happened? So some person in the middle, he just get the data. Okay. So well, I just get the film name. Good. You know, Minale, in 2001, the film will come. So the telephone line. So that is also some of the physical attack, cyber physical attack. I just make a connection man in the middle attack. I just intercepting the communication. So instead of the girl will think he will just talk to the person in America, but he just get a local connection and he just disconnect the American people and he just take it. Okay, that's also where the best example for the man in the middle attack. So automatically what will happen? The middle person will get all the information and he will act as a genuine person. Okay. So the source will doesn't know that whether he's share the data with the destination or with the middle people. So this is the way how. So there's a physical security. What is it? So there's some physical system where the information will be shared to a wrong people. Okay. So this is how the attacks will happen. So I just say the example, the simplest example. So there are the will take in the network. Actually, my guide will just say how the information will be shared in 1971. There is when India and Pakistan. So what we know, automatically the Pakistan peoples will know the actually Pakistan people is the middle. So the Indian peoples in the two sides want to share some information because at the time we don't have proper phones, mobile phones like this. So they want to share the information, but both the Pakistan soldiers and the Indian soldiers will know the Hindi, so the English. So what they do? So simply there is one person in the team will be there. It's a Tamil people. So what they do? They just share the information through Tamil. So they are not using any specific cryptography, but the cryptographic or encryption technique is not like that. So it is. So we don't have to use some mathematical thing, but the actual objective here. So what is the actual objective here is I want to share the information that the middle people or the person in the middle doesn't get the what the actual information is. Okay, so only the source and destination should get the what is the actual information. The person who is going to attack her in the middle should they should not get, even though they will get the information, they should not able to get the actual information. They will get because they don't know the Tamil. So what is it? So here in the group one Tamil people and the next group also the Indian group one Tamil people. So automatically they will share the information in the Tamil. So what happened? So there is no encryption technique, there is no cryptography, but the thing is the attackers will not or doesn't have a key to get the information. Simple concept is here. It doesn't have a key to get what the actual information is. Okay. So there's some practical thing. This practically happened. So you have to just think. Sometimes we can say it's a most trivial things. Some of the solution must be most trivial, but in the particular case, in the particular time or in the particular case, it is okay. Somewhat you just hear the word micromanage because in our daily thing we are just using the micromanage. So there is some error occurs. What do? Okay, you just go with this. We just go with this. So this will solve the problem. So that is not the actual solution, but for current situation, it will provide a solution. But for current situation, it is not a actual solution. It is not a big algorithm. But for current situation, it will be solved. Okay. So likewise, we have to, if a fuzzy anything, if you take in the fuzzy, what will fuzzy will do? Fuzzy has any specific algorithm, fuzzy logic, fuzzy systems. We will just create a different or a case by case. So fuzzy means what? So by case, we are just trying to provide the solution. So if the same solution will be useful for any other system means it is not possible. Somewhere it is same as like this problem means we can use that. But automatically the problem will be different. So what we'll do? We have to go for different algorithm. So SVM to data mining algorithm, we can use data mining for all kind of classification. But for C on the we can't use like that. Okay, so the logic will be given for one application will not always support for other applications. Okay, so there may research of how we have to do that simplest form security link for So we can't write the specific encryption algorithms. Okay, so everyone have a maybe they just have idea. So I am also have to write an algorithm, but it is not like that. But what the thing? So we have to try to incorporate the existing thing in a different form that will provide a solution which is feasible, which is feasible than or which is efficient than the existing one. Okay. Actually, this is also I have a video, but maybe the sound will not come, but you will just understand uh, if you just get that video. That's net warm. Actually, this is the I'm not making the link. Actually, here the YouTube is a problem. So, ah, okay, YouTube is the problem. Wait, I just can't. Okay. Actually, I just explained uh, the statement. So statement is that management discovered in the specifically targeting the terrorism using Iranian nuclear facilities. Okay, so I want to target the Iranian nuclear facilities. I want to destroy that. So what they do? But to make a digital worm, maybe the sound is not here. So the just have it. First cyber attack to cause the physical damage. To slow down the Iran's effort to build a nuclear weapons. The worm targeted the computers that run the machine. What it do? So the nuclear fuel in the system now work on it. So they just targeted that system and they just created a worm and make the systems to not working. And now not work now. So automatically your whole target will just know. So automatically, so the other nikal, it will just spread all over the world. So and once it will be just go all over the world, the cyber alarm based stuxnet, and while this worm only attacks specific equipment related to Iran's everyone else. So Iran or that will be just attack. Automatically ஒரு system attack ஆச்சுன்னா அந்த நெட்வொர்க்ல இருக்க எல்லா சிஸ்டமும் அஃபெக்ட் ஆகும். Automatically everything will be stopped. So இந்த சிஸ்டம் ஒருத்தவங்க என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? So you can't access anything. So automatically, it also causes some physical damage and potentially large numbers of people too. Okay. So this is one of the world first cyber attacks. So they mentioned this as the world first cyber attacks. Okay. So there is another one attack, Ukraine power grid. So this is recently carried out by the Russians over the Ukraine's power grid. So what is do? They just targeted the systems in the power generators. So they just target the systems in the power generator. So automatically what happened? So the power will be shut down. So once the power will be shut down, so automatically so Ukraine actually வந்து நிறைய when there is a cold, so there is a snowfall, so automatically the people need a heater, but the whole power was shut down by attacking attacking the power grids. So automatically the Ukrainian power grids are failed to provide the or failed to generate the powers. Automatically the Ukraine doesn't get the proper power supply and whole city will be entered to the blackout and due to the most snowfall. So what happened? So you can't carry out any activities that will freezes you. So some people also died because of this. Okay. So due to heavy snowfall, there will be no heater. So this is an example how the cyber attacks will cause or will cause the loss of human lives. Because the loss of human lives also. Okay. Okay. So this is the Ukrainian power grid attack and net attack. Okay. Then what is the security goals? So these are normal security goals now. Yeah, actually, I just keep what I thought is so these are the basic securities. I think everyone know because we can say there's a CAA triad. So the security will be started with these three: confidentiality, integrity, availability. So whenever the people start to work with the security, so first thing they have to know these 3 points, CIA. So simply in your books, they mention a triad, EATRIAD. Okay. So these are the basic security goals. So as in a CPS, they just mention the safety and resilience, but the basic security goals for a computer or for a network or for the information, the CA. So CA is confidentiality, integrity, availability. So the C is prevent unauthorized access. Ensure data and operations are not altered. Ensure the system services are always accessible. Now, one thing we have to clearly keep in mind. So nowadays, I just always ask a question. It's not a question, just imagine that from tomorrow the Gmail is not working. What you will do? Because we are using the Gmail. From tomorrow, Gmail is not working. So what we'll do? We can't say anything because we have a Google account. So all our things will be connected with the Google accounts. So if the Google account not working, the Gmail means it's not only Gmail. Gmail is one of the, so initially Gmail account. Initially the Gmail in 2001 or 2, they just started with the Gmail. But after that, what happened? It will be changed to Google account. Gmail account changed to Google account, and automatically everything which will be the Google services. The Gmail is one of the services in a Google. Okay, so Google account in our home. We can't access anything. So our data, because even taking a college, everything will be shared in a drive and everything available in the Google Drive. So all the colleges will get a specific domain from the Gmail for sharing their information, sharing the particular circulars to the, and we are just share some information of the students, all our certificates, all our papers, and everything. That even as academic researcher, all our what's that? Publisher login is linked with the Gmail only, Google account only. So automatically what happened? So we can't access it. Even the publisher cannot do anything, can't do anything. So maybe they have their own database. They have the data, but how they can reach us? Okay, there will be multiple papers, so how they can reach us? So everything will be vanished. So other than the availability, ensure the system services are always accessible. Because the thing what these people are doing is, so initially they just created a system. They don't know target. They don't know the target. Who is the target? But when the Google come into the picture, or for the usage for the public usage, so the people will just slowly move on to the Google. Okay, so in before 2005, Google is not as the main search engine. Okay, so slowly it enters into the market, and it just takes the place, and it's reached its height. So when it has happened, when the Google search engine become more efficient than the Yahoo search engine. So anyone know who is the actually that is my anyone know who is holding the patent? Everyone over the patent. Who is holding the patent for Google search engine? Because we are just applying for patent, and we have just published something, and somebody going to grant. So anyone know who is holding the patent for Google search engine? Because the search engine is one of the software, the AI-based software. Somebody has to hold the patent. Patent anyone can use a search engine, the same kind of search engine. So actually, the Google search engine not Google search engine, not developed by the Google. Google search engine, not developed by the Google. Actually, one day I just tried. One day I just think about the patents. I just want eagerly searching who is holding the patent for Google. So then, who hold the patent for Google? Just for information. The original search algorithm patent was held by Stanford University. So it was developed by the Larry Page. Actually, he is the inventor of the Google search engine, the search algorithm. So what happened is, the Larry Page was a student there. So automatically, the patent was filed under the university name. So what happened? So once the patent filed by the university, so Google later licensed the rights from the Stanford. So what happened? The Google later licensed the rights from Stanford. Stanford became the one actual. That is the actual thing. Okay. So actually, Google not developed the Google search engine or the search algorithm. So somebody developed that and they just get the rights for using. So after that only the Google come into the picture and he became the place the position in the market very well. Okay, just information. Okay, so we all talk about so we can just take something from this information. It is not mean by that you have to work smart. You just keep some smart persons around you that will make you also a smart. Okay. Then coming to the CIA, so CIA confidentiality integrity and availability. So why I'm going to Google Meets? So whenever the Gmail is not working, what will happen automatically? We can't get that information. So how the Google will come to the picture? So that is the story I just explained you. Okay. So all the information. So nowadays, because of the cloud, everyone is cloud. Some of the cloud services may be available. So whenever you are just hosting something, hosting your domain, so the domain you have to recharge year by year. So if you are not recharged the year after 1 year, what happened? The domain may not be available. So the users will just provide you some information. That information will not also not available at particular time. Okay. Then authentication mechanisms. What are the authentication mechanisms I have for here? So mutual authentication between the components. Role-based access control. The role-based access control that it's also a common thing. So in a bank, so bank have some common web page. The common web page that user will have a different login, and the clerk will have a different accessibility, and manager will have a different accessibility. Okay, so automatically what happened? Automatically what happened? So the same web page, same database, but the accessibility will be different. Actually, in your cloud area, I think you know about the vertically partitioned databases. Vertically partitioned databases. And we can also consider as a horizontally partitioned database also. So what is a vertical partition, horizontal partition? Simply, there is a whole database. The user want to view some information. So for the particular user, I have to share only the particular column or particular row. There is nothing, or there is no need to show all the information. So how can I make it? So that is a role-based. So this is the role of this particular user. For this role, this is the maximum accessibility will be provided. Okay, so the administrator has to fix this is the accessibility ratio, or this is the accessible information for the particular user. Okay, so there is a role-based access control and use of secure certificates and keys. The secure certificates and keys are procedures standards or procedures. So how we have to ensure he is a trusted person. So while you're going to or bank how you know the bank, or how you know the insurance, the IRA number, the bank registration, and everything will be there. Okay, so there is some certificate will be there. It's not only for bank, for every financial or even the websites. If you are just using the security, it will be given as a HTTPS. If the website without HTTPS, it simply have HTTP means, then automatically consider there will be no security in that. Simply, they consider there will be no security. Okay. So you have to use some proper. So if you are not having proper security means what happened? So sometimes actually the one information I just share, mostly some of the subdomains. Normally on you just take any website, government website, some subdomains may be run, or maybe the server will be maintained by the specific department, which is not maintained by the overall organization. So automatically what happened, that particular subdomain or the sub-department doesn't maintain the secure certificate, and the people wants to access, the attackers wants to inject some malware, what they do? They just directly go to a particular server, and from there we can move on to here. Okay. So now what happened? This will be run in my mobile phone. Okay, I just show simply. So initially what happened? This YouTube was not working in the college. But after I just make it connected to a mobile, I just reconnect with the college. Now it is working. How it is possible? So this is the way the system will have some, or just provide a way to the attacker. They can easily get into you, and they can use that actual information and just to try to overcome the security things which will happen. The security thing, so YouTube doesn't run, but I'm not using any proxy. I'm not using any additional things. I just transfer their service from one to other, and again I just transfer the service. And automatically, it will be run. So it's also kind of attack only. Okay, so something is not accessible, something is not authorized, but I just run the unauthorized things. Okay, actually it's not a thing, but somewhat which is not accessible, which is not authenticated, but without any additional thing, without any additional tool, I just manage to execute that. Okay. So biometric and multi-factor authentication were our topic of normal physical systems. Actually, I have one video to use to watch in a previous lecture. I just don't keep it enough one doubt. Then I have it. Not the thing. So there is one. Actually, what I said the previously, how the ATM card will be working. So here I just get the smart card for that, and they just scan what is available, and I just use it for any door to open. Okay, so I'm not using the card. So what I means, once I vacate the room, so how you can see this attack means, I just vacate the room, but even I vacate the room, after that also I can able to, without third permission, I can able to enter into the room. Okay, this is a simple logic. So I can able to, this is also one kind of attacks in cyber physical systems. This is also one kind of attacks in cyber new rooms key. Unlock the door and show you again it is locked and it is unlocked. Okay, this is also an example how the cyber physical systems will provide, or which can be easily enter into the position. Okay. So then authentication mechanisms, then encryption in CPS, you know what are the encryption techniques? So what are the encryption techniques you know? What is my encryption? Actually, I just said one thing. I just take the class that everyone knows security. Okay, everyone knows the basics of security. So these are things everyone knows. So encryption means the actual information which is converted into different form that the attackers doesn't get the information. Okay, so encryption is end-to-end encryption, what I mentioned for WhatsApp, and lightweight cryptography for concealed devices, and secure key management and rotation policies. So the OTP, the rotation policies are OTP. So even though after you're giving your password, it just asks you to enter the OTP. So once if you automatically, if you say it's OTP means what happened? So even the attackers know your username password, the OTP will be shared only to your registered mobile number. So automatically they can't access. Okay, so that is the place where you have to be aware for the unwanted calls. You have to avoid the unwanted calls, which are the OTP. Okay, and IDS. So you know what is IDS? Intrusion detection systems. What is the intrusion detection system? I just detect there is some intruders will come in. So this you can say. So this is the common network system for network security. We all know the IDS will be using. Then what is the specifications? We have to see the same thing in cyber physical system also. Cyber physical system also, which is what's the components, which will tightly coupled the physical systems with the cyber systems through the network. Okay, we are tightly coupled your cyber components with the physical components through the network. So if you are just opening the door using door open, so it will be key locked. Sometimes the key lock which will be manually entered in the color lock, but sometimes we are just do some or involve some encryption technique that will carry out analysis in the cloud part. So that is and we also another form application based, host based ideas, network based ideas, HIDS and ADS, Islamic patterning. Okay. So here the signature is that detect the known attack by its patterns, and another is that detect the deviations from normal behavior. So how the intrusion detection system work in your CPCS by two ways. I already know these are the attack patterns. If these patterns will come into the network, then automatically I can say it's an attack. I just stopped them instead of and allow them to system. Or sometimes I just say these are my behaviors. So if the norm is a normal user, then it is the behavior of the normal user. If any deviations in the normal behavior, then automatically I'm not saying he's attacker, but I won't allow him. So I just stop them and I just inform the admin. So there is one user whose behavior is different. So again, now very careful now. Now, whenever you are just installing any application in your system, the system will ask the permission whether this will change the information network or it will change whenever if you're just connecting the Wi-Fi. So that will change the home network. It will ask it will change whether you want to connect it or not. So you have to give it yes. So that is the way how your system create an alarm. Okay. So you have to make kind of alarms or it has to create an alarm. Your system has to create alarms because always your security that your IDS systems or your security system not always find out the attacks, but you can manage it by giving the information who are the normal users. Who are all the normal users. So automatically, if you say these are normal users, then it will not allow any others. ஒரு வீடு இருக்கு, வீட்டுல உள்ள போனா fingerprint, biometric authentication. Only 5 people on the home, that 5 will be avoided. So another people will come. He just make a fingerprint. It will not allow all of them. It will not say he is an attacker. Okay, sorry. So there is some net internet connections will be happened, so it will be disconnected. Okay, so we just started with where we just stopped. Mm, okay, so we just talk about the idea systems, so signature, normally based, and I just also already talk about the which is a secure communication protocols. The use of secure protocols are TLS and SSL. TLS is transport layer security, and SSL. So whenever we are using the online banking, internet banking, they just provide the gateway. The gateway will just provide the information that you are entering into a secure TLS by SSL. Here in the bottom, it will just show. So, and also you have to provide a wireless encryption using your Wi-Fi network and other uh, wireless access points that will be provided. Okay, and physical security measures, it will restrict the physical access to critical components and tamper. So physical security, just maintain a proper key or put a proper security watchman or security people to avoid anyone to reach out the particular uh, physical system or physical component. Maybe your surveillance camera will be there, that also come under your cyber physical system, because it has to provide the some images, because as I talk about intrusion into the system, so the surveillance will provide you who is coming. These by capturing the image itself, it shows. So that there is some anomaly persons are there. So that means unknown person. It's the known persons are only the persons in the home, the 5 persons. So other persons are anomaly who is captured in the camera. So anomaly persons is in the road means it just leave it. But while they reaches the gate or the entry means it just create an alarm. Okay, so everything will be come under your physical security measures. So how we can make a proper software and firmware protection? You have to make a proper regular updates, and you have to maintain some memory protection. You have to maintain a secure boot mechanisms. Penetration testing. Actually, penetration testing is one of the done by your company or organization to verify that no attacker can attack the system. So what is it? They just create all kind of attacks. Okay, so actually penetration testing will be carried out by the ethical hackers. Ethical hackers are the hackers who is authorized the hackers to carry out this penetration. So they will tested with all the attacks over the system and verify whether the system will sacrifice the security measures for any of the attacks. So if it is missed, they try to overcome that. Okay, so that is the major targeting of the penetration testing. So there is penetration testing is a single word, but there will be different scenarios, different kinds of testing will be carried out under this because the scenarios will be taken care by the your ethical hackers. Okay, so it's also considered as the hackers, the black, gray, white hackers. Okay, there is a different point. And simulation and emulation of the attack scenarios that will be carried out in your penetration testing. And you have to verify your system that everything will be working fine. Normally, software development will just check with the SaiRamesh QTP. Nowadays, I don't know what is the actual testing tool will be there. We are just check whether all the functions are working properly for your system. Okay. And also you just check whether all the control systems are working properly. Understand? That biometric authentication or the camera, so everything which will become under your control system. Okay, so it has to given the information to the cloud, and because the images are not analyzed inside the particular place, the image once the image is captured, that will be given to the cloud environment where the actual analysis will be carried out, and that from the cloud the information will be provided is the authenticated user or anomaly. Okay, so this is all about security. So next come to the privacy in CPS. So security will take one of course. So then privacy. Okay, so what is the privacy and security? So privacy is protecting the personal or sensitive data. Security focus on protecting against malicious threats. So how I'm going to protecting my personal or sensitive data? I have some video, but okay. So what is the importance of privacy in CPS? So it has collection of a user behavior, age and location data, risk of surveillance and profiling, and legal and ethical responsibility and trust is essential for adoption. So that is all the importance of privacy. Actually, we can say what's healthcare. So how the healthcare will come under the cyber physical system? So simply it's about the monitoring. So monitoring the health of the individual persons. Automatically what happened? So monitoring automatically there will be some components will be attached with the person or will monitor the person continuously, and you normally your smartwatch. So everyone will just using the smartwatch. The smartwatch will be one of the it's come under the healthcare management system, which continuously get some data from you. That is all the private data. That is also that the privacy has to maintain for the data. So normally in India we are not maintaining any laws for maintaining the privacy in the healthcare sectors. But you can use normally in your books. If you are studied in books, you are come to know about the HAPA and the PCDSS. So these are some of the rules and regulations and laws are available in the UK countries for maintaining the privacy among the user health information or user financial information. Okay. If you are just going for the lab, and if you take an test the next day, you just receive multiple messages from different labs that we are providing the offer for carried out this kind of a medical test. So how they can know I'm having this problem? Because once the information will be shared with one lab, that information will be given to other labs also, and the people also given to. Only if you are going for, if you just going to any real estate, if you just meet any one day real estate, automatically you just get the messages. Even in your Google, you just go to Google. So with your Google, just with your Google account, if you do any searching, automatically from next day in a promotion, under the promotion, you will just get several mails regarding what you searched or relevant to what you searched yesterday. As a business perspective, okay. So these are all the way how my information or my personal or private information was leaked. Actually, we all say the personalization. We all talk about the personalization. So everything will be personalized. Everything will be personalized. What it should be personalized? How they are personalized? Your thing. They are getting your information without your knowledge. So if you ask what is the means, so while installing the software itself or while installing the application itself, you just agree for all. So if agree means what? So that is one point given. So I can get all your data. What all data will be browsed, I can able to get it for providing a personal information for you like that. But I don't know what is the exact thing. But it's what happened. So the personalization was provided based on the private information of yours. But we enjoy the personalization without knowing that my private information was leaked out to some other people. How they know what I'm liking? In Zomato, one day you order one thing, next time it just provide recommendation continuously from other hotels. Just say for the same cuisine. How they know? So because one day I just make it, so next day they just record that and they say I just personalize the thing. But it is not personalization. They are just getting my information without my knowledge and make a recommendation and they think that is intelligent. So that is the intelligence. And we also enjoy that intelligence without knowing that our information was leaked to some other people. Okay. Okay, just have some more to decide. Okay. So collection of user behavior, health and location, surveilling, profiling, legal, ethical, process essential, production. So types of privacy, data privacy, location privacy, identity privacy, behavior privacy. And one thing. So the location privacy. So always, I just noticed some people always make the location was stand up. So what is the need of the stand up? What is the need for stand on the location? Always in your mobile. Because the people will easily know where you are available or where you are now. Actually, while you just travel from, I have just taken your Zomato itself. You travel from one place to other place that you just stayed. They just know where you are and they just provide recommendation. But we feel that, oh, see how they will just identify I am here and they will provide the information what I need. But they just get your location without your knowledge. But என்ன பண்ணிருப்போம் அந்த ஆப் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணும்போது location will be on. What do you do while using this application? நம்ம அந்த while using this application only அந்த application யூஸ் பண்ணும்போது தான் that will be they will just application only while using the application means whenever I'm opening this application then only the location will be needed by the particular app. But what we give, somebody will give for all. for every time. For every time means in a back end also they just get your location and they just try to provide some information and you are protecting the user. And I just I just make it for all my students. Okay, protecting the user identity. So what is the user identity? Actually, the identity privacy means so based on my knowledge or based on my experience, I just informed everyone to use the identity whenever there is a need. Whenever there is a need. Normally, there is some, what do you say, there's a practice that everywhere we are wearing the ID card. What is the need for that? Simply I'm asking, what is the need for that? Everywhere wearing the ID card. So ID card, what is the thing in ID card? ID card will show your name, belonging to which organization, and your home address, your mobile number, and your and everything which is available. And my question is, we are ID card everywhere. Not needed, but we are wearing this. We stay in the bus, we stay in the bus stop, everyone wearing the ID card. It's not needed. So by wearing the ID card, you simply showcase your identity to everyone who are not needed. Or even the attackers who are there will easily get the identity. So even by getting the phone number, even getting by so that will be getting your father mobile number. Okay, wherever. So you can't imagine who are the attacker. You can't say that. Okay. So the thing is, we have to make ourselves protective. The simple thing that we have to make ourselves protective. We have to hide our things. So there is no need to project everything to everyone. Okay. So we have to project whenever we inside the college, there is a need for the ID card. We have to wear that. Inside our company, we have to wear that. Okay. Simply, that's the places where we really need. But we all wear that. So I'm not saying it's a wrong thing, but definitely it just project your identity to everyone. Okay, so you unknowingly project your identity to everyone. That will easily some maybe the attackers also. Okay, so they easily get the information. Okay, so threats to privacy, CPS, data breaches, and leaks, and use open communication, unauthorized data access, and influence attacks. This is I just already showed that example how the door lock will be opened. So once it's scanned, okay. Nowadays we always have some thing in mind. Whenever I given my mobile for the repair, I have my whether they may take some data from us from our mobile. Maybe that is also possible, but we are trusted. So we have a trust, and we just give given the mobile, and definitely as I say, all your bank accounts will be safely managed by one administrator. That administrator will know everything about your data. But I just have a trust. He won't do any wrong thing with the data, what he knows. Okay. So that is the how. So that is the place where the trust will come into the place, come into the picture. Really, everyone trusted someone that they will not do this. So with that point only, the world is still believing everything should be smart. So whenever we can say it's a smart, automatically there is some data should be exposed there. The data should not be used for any wrong thing. Okay. So privacy challenges in CPS, device diversity, limited resources, continuous data flow, and real-time demands, interoperability, and standardization issues. So whenever we are using the IoT or embedded systems, how we have to maintain a privacy for these individual devices. So the data of one device may not be known to the, or may not be shared with other data devices or other informations. And you have the limited resources, that means your power, bandwidth, and processing. So how we have to maintain that? Now we only buffer overflow attacks. Buffer overflow attacks will also reduce your power. So unwanted, sometimes your mobile will show some unwanted was running in the back will reduce your power. Automatically, what it shows. So the application, it is not needed currently, but it is running continuously at the back end. We reduce the power. So we have to make here the thing or the application which is not at needed, which is not needed at the current situation, should be closed there. So not only what we do, we are not close the application, we are just come back. The close actually where you are close all. So if we click close only, all the applications will be closed. Otherwise, all the applications are in ideal condition. At the back end, it will accessing some powers. Okay. And also your home systems or any autonomous systems, we can say smart irrigation or any autonomous vehicle. So automatic, if you take an autonomous vehicle, continuously get some data, continuously given the data, given data to the cloud, that will instruct you. So what do you? So I will just enter from the state highway to national highway. So automatically it gives the instruction, increase the speed. Autonomous vehicle is not. Autonomous vehicle, just it also knows which is the state highway, which is the corporation highway, which is the national highway. So by that, it has to control speed. Okay. So while the signal is on, so what do I do? You have to stop. Okay. So everything which will be convenient. So how much you just think about how much data will be recorded in the cloud set and how the analysis will be carried out. So how if any data will be not reached properly in the cloud environment or any connectivity issues will be there, then automatically what happens? The command will not reach the autonomous vehicle. The autonomous vehicle definitely enter into some accident, definitely. If there is some connectivity issue, so the actual information to stop the vehicle will not reach the stop the vehicle will not reach the vehicle. Then what the vehicle will do? It just continue to move on. It just hit on somewhere. That will happen. Okay. So we have to maintain the connectivity issues. The privacy challenges surrounding the CPS is that the network bandwidth and connectivity issues will also come into the picture. Okay. So what are the privacy frameworks and what are the differential privacy, administration, access control, and data administration? So differential privacy is add noise to protect data. So I'm going to do the head and just have some plain design for that. Just with that word, I just add some additional word. So that by adding the additional word, only the persons properly using that additional word will be able to get the actual word. Okay, so that adds noise to protect the data. So removes the personal identifiers. So I'm embedding to the signography, embedding the lab. So that's kind of adding the noise to protect data. Removes the personal identifiers and access the only authorized access allowed and collects only what's necessary. So data maintenance. So instead of collecting all the data, I just reuse the data. Actually, in IDS, in IDS internet system, we're collecting, we're just seeing the papers, research papers. There is in data mining, you all know about the future selection. So what is the future selection? For taken the decision, I just want this much data. So all the other features are not needed or not required for taken this decision. So this is how That is what the data verification. So collect only what's necessary. Okay. The machine learning achieve. So we have to interrelate. So the research is interrelate your technical thing with the concept. Okay. So and privacy enhancing technology, encryption, secure multi-port computation, on more efficient encryption, and blockchain. Blockchain. You know what is the blockchain? The hint is immutable. So there is the encryption will be there, but actually the thing is we don't know what is actually going to be happening in the blockchain. We say there will be encryption, there will be the data will be continuously stored in a different laws. So we can we cannot we don't know where it is actually stored, but by the leap, whenever we call data, it will fetch data. Okay. So likewise, there is some the recent technology. Encryption is old one. You can just leave it. But the blockchain is the most recent technology. But still, most of the organization will not believe or will not enter into the practical where they are not practically use the blockchain. Okay, so these are things I already informed some of the laws, HAPA, M.G.R, and MAST framework. And PCDSS is a payment credit card data security standard. It's for a financial one. So GDPR for data protection privacy. HAPA is health insurance privacy. So your health information will not to give to the other people. So that's mainly for health data privacy. Okay. So designing a privacy aware CPS is privacy by design principles, set modeling, and secure software development can secure and implement and actually in a security I just come to the common security. In a software development life cycle, there is a common software development cycle. So in that I just include the secure in all the phases. Then automatically that will be considered as a secure software development cycle. Okay. The sec will be the secure. So how I will be in a design, I have to just check it. After project management, over to say so how I'm going to reduce the error by including some security things or by including some additional things. We are just trying to reduce the errors in each cases and finally, so design phase if I'm not given the proper login or I'm just not providing for entry or password. If I just have to provide a design phase itself. If not, what happened at the end level? So the user cannot use the proper password, then attackers can easily get into the system. Okay. The smart health monitoring law, it will be the wearables, the wearables are the smartwatches and data shared with doctors and insurers. And again, there is one field, the ESET. And you know about the ESET thing, where the attacker easily get they just connected to the server and they just get the information, the mail, which was sent by a doctor, they just change the prescription for the patient, and by the way, so that's also a kind of how the attackers, the cyber physical attacks. So why we need a cyber physical system, why we need a security in healthcare system also. Because we already at the starting stage we say it's a political motive or financial. So these are the due for some political motive also. We can just use this privacy or security in our healthcare systems. And normally when healthcare system we have to avoid the identity theft with the copyright theft. Okay, some of the information of the drugs or the new tablets, they just come with some new compositions. The compositions will be maintained, or the copyright should be maintained. So if the copyright was given to somebody means, or it will be the employer, the inside employee will just take the composition and give it to some opposite company, and they will get the copyright. Automatically, what happened? So that's also kind of a privacy or privacy which needs in a healthcare. Okay. Amplifying data and tools and platforms. So open PDF is a user-controlled personal data store that the user can store the information and he can manage who can view about them or what are the information. That's not very access-based, role-based access control. So who can view which kind of information. So if you so it's kind of role-based control is kind of level by level. So for school level people, so for school level, if I say the software name, for school people, school students, I can say this is a software name. For college students, I can say this is a software name. For PhD scholar, I can say this is a software name. But for the company people, I can say this is a software name. So all the software names will not be same, but the term is same, but the explanation is different. So there is a way how you can create your own environment and you can just fix who can access what kind of data that will be carried over by open PDFs and privacy preserving technologies and APIs for management. Okay. So edge computing. So normally edge computing to avoid the cloud exposure, some of that is a micromanage is our word that micromanage. Instead of I just going to the cloud, I just taken the decision in the device itself, in your mobile itself. But always that is not safe. But as a privacy, it's safe, but always some of the data or some of the analysis will not be carried out at the edge level properly. Okay. And also the research will be carried out in your edge computing and still we are not come to the effective position or effective point in a anomaly detection. Okay. And next, the final thing is about the safety in CPCS. So these are the safety in CPCS involves ensuring that these interconnected physical and computational system function reliably, safely, and preventing accidents, harm, and damage. Preventing the accidents, harm, and damage. That is the major safety mission they have to carry out. So key aspects of safety in CPCS: action failures, cyber security, interdependencies, and safety assurance monitors, and standards and regulations and control systems. So all these things we already discussed previously. And again, if you want to maintain a safe CPCS, then these things we have to follow. Okay, so this is the main thing I just talked about the standards and regulations. Okay, because this is standards and regulations not covered. But so here in safety, we just okay, we can just take a quick look. Safety standard IEC 6151. This is the standard focus on functional safety of the program management system in a safety critical application, particularly in industrial automation and control systems. Actually, more ISO 140, ISO 9000, ISO 9001, ISO 9002. So that way, this is also some of the standards ISO 26262. So this will addresses the functional safety for road vehicles and increasingly being adapted for CPS in areas like autonomous driving and advanced driver assistance. Actually, ISO standards are there is some regulations, there is some procedures. If you are saying I'm going to prepare autonomous vehicle, then automatically you have to follow these procedures. You have to follow these procedures to design your autonomous vehicle. Okay, so if you are not following these procedures, then automatically it is not satisfied. It is not coming to the practical usage. Okay, so these are safety standards and security standards. So IEC 62443, it provides a framework for managing security risk in industrial automation control systems and covering aspects like system design, implementation, and maintenance. And NIC cybersecurity, NIC, National Standards and Technology. Actually, for cloud computing, we just accepting the definition given by the NIC. Okay, so it just provide a framework for managing cybersecurity risks across the various sectors, including your CPCS. So they just provide the framework. So what the thing is, if you are following the framework, then we can say, so I am secure. Okay, simply that's it. Actually, that is the accepted framework by the group of people, then automatically they support this framework. So once any new organization come into the picture, if they are using this framework, then automatically will say it is safe. So Information of Safety and Security, IEC 6151, and these are some of the standards being integrated to create a unified approach to safety and security in the development of CPS and failure attack fact graph. Fact graph will explore the use of unified models to integrate safety and security analysis during the development of ECS. Okay, just actually the importance of self conditions, ensuring the reliability and protecting the critical infrastructure and maintaining the operational safety and complaints and best practices, mitigating the risk. So mitigating risk is common thing. So this will happen, but how we are going to mitigate your risk associated with your failures. So then the risk acceptance, risk transference, and risk failure, everything. Okay. So these are the future directions. So you have to create a better privacy policy. You have to create a better privacy standards. You have to make a proper human-centered design practices, and you have to integrate the ethics. So these are the future directions for your. It is actually future direction is how we have to make it more secure, or make it more feasible, or make it practically feasible. Okay, so these are the future directions. Then you can say that thank you for listening, the 250 participants who are currently inside the meeting, and thank you for your work. So I'm not given anything detailed review, I just given some basics of security measures, which is really in practice or we need to practice. Anything you want to ask, you just ask your queries.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and enriching presentation. We now open the floor for questions. You may either unmute yourself or drop your questions in the chat box. We will take them one by one.
Thanks a lot, feedback. No, I think there'll be no more questions, I think.
Participants, you can raise your questions. So no questions, I guess.
Yes.
Sir, shall we close?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. Just no more questions are there. Actually, the sessions will be, I think, will be too long to close.
Okay. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. Hence, to conclude today's proceedings, I invite Mrs. Santana Lakshmi, Assistant Professor, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the organizing committee, I take immense pleasure in delivering the vote of thanks for day 4 of our 5-day virtual faculty development program on cyber physical system. First and foremost,
I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to today's speaker, Dr. L. SaiRamesh, for his insightful and engaging session on security, privacy, and safety in CPS, offering a comprehensive overview of the key concepts and real-world relevance of cyber-physical systems. Thank you, sir, for your valuable time and contribution. We are also deeply grateful to our Honorable President, ACS Arun Kumar, for his continued support and visionary leadership, which has been a constant source of encouragement for all our academic endeavors. Our sincere appreciation goes to our Vice Chancellor, Dr. S. Geeta Lakshmi, Registrar, Dr. C.B. Palanivel, Additional Registrar, Dr. V. Ethiraj, Advisor Dr. Mehta, and Dean of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Ethiraj, for their unwavering support and guidance in organizing this event. A special note of thanks to our Head of the Department, Dr.N.Kanya, for her dynamic leadership and encouragement. And to all my dedicated colleagues with teamwork and planning has ensured the smooth execution of today's event. Last but not least, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all the participants who joined us today. Once again, thank you to everyone who has contributed to the success of today's event. We look forward to welcoming you for the upcoming sessions in the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your heartfelt words of gratitude. As we conclude today's session, we extend our sincere thanks to the speaker, participants, and organizers of this valuable contribution. This FDP on cyber-physical systems has opened new avenues for learning and collaboration. Though virtual, the engagement and exchange of ideas were truly impactful. We hope this marks the beginning of continued growth and innovation in this exciting field. Please join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. sharp for the next interesting session on research trends and tools for CPS. Until then, it's bye and thank you.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you.